hola, or should I say bonsoir? Because we're gonna be talking about French wine, Chablis. I've already given out something that I wanted to. Okay. Well, for those of you who know how to pronounce this wine, kudos, great job, woohoo! But for those of you who don't, which I think a lot of people, why don't we practice the pronunciation? It's super easy, but so many people mess it up, and it gives me unimaginable cringe when I see people butchering this beautiful French name of a wine. Don't call it Chablis, okay? Okay. It's very... the S is silent in Chablis. Why I'm getting so nervous, I don't know. But S is silent in Chablis. But it's a beautiful, it's like a, it's like a Chablis. There you have it. Chablis. S is silent and you start a little shh. It's a beautiful wine. One of my favorites. I got a lovely bottle today. I haven't even had a sip. I think it's everything I've been looking for a Thursday. Treating myself to a little Chablis today. And another thing that might be a bit confusing about Chablis is that people don't really know what it is because it's not a grape variety. There's no grape variety named Chablis. You go to you sit at a restaurant and you say, hey, let's get a Chablis. You just, burp it out. Chablis, let's get Chablis or Chablis or whatever you used to call it before this video. Chablis is a wine region. It's situated in the very northern part of Burgundy. If you look at the Burgundy region in France, Chablis kind of looks like a little island. It's kind of detached from this whole, snake that goes from the north to the south in Burgundy. So it's a wine region. Easiest thing to remember about this wine region is that the wines from Chablis are always white and they're always 100% Chardonnay. So super easy so far. Wine region in Burgundy, 100% Chardonnay, always a white wine. Great. The reason why you want to go to a restaurant or to a wine shop or whatever, you just kind of urge to you're craving a Chablis because it is not only Chardonnay, it is a very distinctive style of Chardonnay. If you think of freshness, crispiness, lots of green fruits, this is what Chablis symbolizes. I know that when we tend to think about Chardonnay, we usually think about those oily, oaky, buttery whites with a lot of alcohol. Well, Chablis is totally different from that. They have this super lean, super beautiful figure, kind of super fit, straightforward, precise, razor sharp Chardonnays, which you can find nowhere in the world. Let me try to explain why these Chardonnays are the way they are. Okay. First reason is soils. Okay. Soils always play a huge role in any terroir-driven wines, and in Chablis it is especially the case because the soils of Chablis are super, super special. The process how these soils formed took millions of years. These soils are called Kimmeridgian soils, and that basically means that they are from this super special, 1,000,000-year-old limestone plus marble plus fossilized little sea creatures and little parts of the oyster shells, kind of like this maritime influence. They also give you this kind of chalky character, do you know what I mean? Like chalky brush over your tongue when you keep the wine properly, when you taste it properly, not like, okay, great. No, when you really leave it a couple of seconds on your palate, really get acquainted with it, and it gives you this lovely kind of mineral, what we call a mineral brush. Oh, and this kind of, they resemble this kind of oyster water, it's almost like an iodine touch to it, which really, I don't know a single wine region that can compare to that in the entire world. So this is pretty unique, and that's why you kind of, when you order Chablis, you don't really order a Chardonnay, you order kind of this climate and the soils and this whole shebang that comes with it in a glass. This is what I want to drink, I don't just want to drink a Chardonnay or whatever. I want to have this typical style. I also mentioned climate, and climate plays also a super important role in Chablis because it's a cool climate region. So you can't really, with a cool climate, the weather it's continental climate, okay? So the weather cannot really be too hot, although it's slowly changing now with the climate change. The temperatures are getting hotter and hotter, so it's really hard to sustain this crisp, lean, acidity, straightforward style of wines. They have harsh winters, the temperature is going to be it's going to drop in the winter, there's snowiness, and even in summer what's so cool is that you can have a very warm period, July, August, where the grapes really mature. They're already formed and they start to mature. So the temperature is going to be really warm during the daytime. But if you ever visited Chablis or Burgundy in general, you're going to have to, you know that the nights get pretty chilly. It's best that you have a little jacket or like a warm sweater. I mean, if you drink a glass of wine, maybe you don't even need a jacket, you know what I mean? Yeah, so the nights are chilly, and that helps this cold temperature during the night. It helps sustain the acidity. There's a specific classification system of Chablis. I don't really want to go in there, but just so you know that Chablis has Grand Crus, pretty affordable Grand Crus. They are really worth investing in. And so since I talked about this cool climate and these soils and the minerality that comes with it and the whole terroir, what's also so special about Chablis is that the winemakers usually try to deviate from using oak. So what they want to do is they want to keep this clean expression of place. So most of the winemakers, they choose like neutral containers to age their wine, and steel tank is top notch for that. So another thing that you should know about Chablis is that most of the winemakers, they age their Chablis in steel tanks, which contributes to this crisp and kind of crunchy zestiness that you have on your palate. Or just like, just talking about it makes me salivate. Oh my goodness. Did I mention that I put the green just to remind you of the greenness, the green style of Chablis? You don't necessarily have to think of grass, but just to remind you that, when you think about Chablis, think about this youthful, kind of vigorous greenness. A little bit of green apple, green pear. You can't really smell saltiness, but I put $10 that it's gonna taste a little salty, because this is usually what Chablis is. Oh, you know what? Why don't we talk about what am I drinking? What are we drinking? This is from one of my favorite winemakers. Can you guys guess vintage? It's 2019, my favorite vintage. If you've been watching my channel, you know how much I rave about 2019. And it's getting very scarce. Let me tell you, there's not that many left. This comes from a Domaine in Chablis, which is called Domaine Grossot. There is a father and a mother who are running it, Corinne and Jean-Pierre. Super sweet family. And then recently they have a beautiful daughter. And then recently she took over, and now she's doing, she's the diva of she's in charge. And you know, she's young. She has this passion for the region, of course. She, never met her, so that's all I can say. Young and beautiful, and I watched a couple of pictures with her. She seems a super nice lady. Anyway, in one of her interviews, she's actually talking about her favorite wines from the whole list that she produces, and she names Cuvée La Part des Anges as her absolute favorite Chablis. It's 13% alcohol, which is quite usual. The Chablis used to even struggle to get 12 or 12.5% or like 11% in the worst vintages, but now they're all like 13%, so it's just perfect alcohol content if you ask me. Oh, and also maybe it would be interesting for you. Nowhere does it say that it's a Chardonnay. Look at the label here. Look at the back. It doesn't say that it's a Chardonnay. Oh, it's also agriculture biologique, so it's certified as organic. There's a slight creaminess in here, I have to say, to admit. You know what? There's a little bit of kiwi as well, with green apple, of course. This sea breeze feeling, or like oyster shell or oyster water, or you know, what do you call this seaweed? Alge in German, you know, with the seaweed with this green kind of parts. It has a little bit of lime, maybe a bit of citrus zest, you know, when you just brush it, or just like a little pesto or something like greenish plus nutty. You know what, the pesto, they have this green like basilicum, sure. Oh, it's so lovely. It's just like a tight, straightforward, the grip, like this teary eyes, this is what acidity gives you. It's like so focused, do you know, like compact, like packed and focused and straightforward, and this precise and kind of a razor sharp acidity, but also you have this beautiful, like, oh, it's salivating everywhere. Everyone's like, oh, it's staying there, still there. It's been like a minute. You know, so saltiness is not as high as I expected, so I lost $10. Maybe a little bit of like green tea, kind of, you know, like a nice tonic. No tonic, no tonic, no green tea. Never mind, you know what, this is not. And pesto, definitely a touch of pesto. Which you already have your perfect food combination, you see? You got pasta with pesto, you got oysters. It just grabs you by your tongue. Nice, just maybe a little bit of grapefruit, but like super sweet, like maybe like a blood orange, maybe even. Do you know what I mean? Cool. Oh, I got one more. Maybe like when you put like an oyster, when you squeeze a lot of citrus on the oyster, and then you have it, and you're like, oh, that was too much citrus, and you have a little bitterness to it.